Hi, welcome to Fusion Beads. I'm excited to show you how to make our Sparkle All Night Long earring and ring set. The earrings in this set feature the small triangle bezel charm, the mini square bezel link, and the mini circle bezel post earring. All of these are by Nunn Design. I used 4mm 20 gauge jump rings to connect the components, and I filled the components with 5-minute epoxy and Glitter Roxs Glass Glitter in the copper color. For my ring, I'm using the adjustable circle bezel ring, also by Nunn Design, and I filled it with the same epoxy and Glitter Roxs. For my tools, I'm using chain nose pliers. I've got some toothpicks, some 5-minute epoxy, I've got some plastic resin cups, some paper cups, plastic bag, and an index card. You can find the links to all these beads and supplies in the description below. So let's get started. Okay, so to begin, I went ahead and I punched holes in the top of this paper cup for my post earrings, so I can just go ahead and just slide those through, because you want your bezels to sit flush against the cup, then that way everything's like nice and even. And then I did the same thing for the ring. I just cut a little slot so I can put the ring base through there, and then that gives me a nice stable surface to work with for those. And then I just put everything on a little plastic bag to make sure I don't get any epoxy on my bead board. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up some of the epoxy. And I'm just going to do a little bit at a time and just work in a couple of bezels. Then that way your epoxy won't set up before you can add your glass glitter in there. So you want to make sure that you use even portions of the epoxy. And you want to just go ahead and stir it to make sure it's nice and mixed. And it only takes about like 20 seconds or so to kind of like stir it all up together. And then I just use a toothpick to grab a little bit of it. And it is a little stringy, so make sure you don't have too many strings coming off there. And then you just dab some into your bezel. And the bezel for the earrings is really shallow, so you don't want to overfill by any means. So you just go ahead and kind of move it around. So it looks like I got it pretty good in there. And then I'm going to take my Glitter Roxs. And I like to put mine in a little index card. So then I get a nice little funnel there to put it in there. And then I just go ahead and I tap it in there. And then I also just go back with my finger and then just kind of gently push around and get it so it really like sits down in there tight. And then I'm going to just let that guy set up. So I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other little ring, or the other little bezel there. And I really like these Glitter Roxs because they give you that Druzy look without, obviously, the Druzy gemstone and everything. But it's a really fun look you can get. You could also do this with resin if you wanted to, but resin's quite a bit more expensive and takes a little bit more setup process in mixing, where the 5-minute is really quick and easy. You get that kind of instant gratification with it. Again, just like mixing my 5-minute epoxy around my base. Just want to make sure I have a nice like even coating on there. Then I add some more Glitter Roxs. And then go ahead and slide them down in there. And then I always, again, just like to kind of just push on it gently. Make sure everything kind of gets down in there. So now I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to let them totally set up. It's about an hour to set up for those totally. And then I can go ahead and knock off the excess and I'll, can assemble my earrings. So my 5-minute epoxy is still pretty good at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of it to put in my ring bezel here. Just take care to try not to get it on the edge, and if you do, just wipe it off real quick because you don't want any glitter rocks there on the edge. And as you can see, the ring bezel is quite a bit deeper, so it can take a little bit more epoxy. So I got a nice coating on there. Again, just add some of my Glitter Roxs. And then just tap it in there. And then I just like gently push down, very gently, because you don't want to like push out any of the epoxy. And I might just add a little bit more, just to make sure everything is coated in there. Okay, so I've got those both done, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set those aside, and I'm going to continue filling these bezels in that same fashion. And then I'm going to let it all set up for about an hour to make sure my epoxy's nice and hardened and everything. And then I'm going to tap off the excess glitter and we'll go ahead and we'll assemble everything. So we'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead and I've cleaned these ones up. I've already tapped off any excess glitter rocks that was on there and stuff, and I let them set up for a little over an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same to my earring posts and my ring. So to do that, just gently just grab them out of there, kind of tap off any excess glitter rocks. And not very much should really come off. It'll probably just be any that didn't get, obviously attached to the glue. Do the same thing for the ring. Try not to make too big of a mess with your glitter rocks. Just tap off any excess. You can kind of rub your finger over it too to knock any loose that aren't like totally glued down. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that aside. So now I am ready to assemble my earrings. So to do that, I'm just going to open up my 4mm jump rings and I'm going to attach all my components. And then I'm ready to go out with my fancy pair of earrings. So to open my jump ring, I'm going to take my chain nose pliers. And grabbing on both sides of the jump ring, you're going to pull one side towards you and one side away from you. And then you're going to slip on your triangle post. And then you're going to add your square link. And then you're going to close your jump ring. And then that same fashion, you're going to go ahead and attach your earring post. These glitter rocks are like so fun, and they're kind of addictive to work with. It's like because you can really make up a lot of cool stuff really quickly. And they come in a bunch of other colors too. You can get them in like turquoise, silver, and gold. I did the copper today, but any of the other colors would look great too. I have worked with the turquoise and it's really pretty too. And I just love again how it has that druzy look. With the components and stuff, it looks so nice and finished. So again, just the same fashion as the first earring. Just going to open that jump ring and attach my components. And then my last jump ring. Attach my last earring post. And there I have a really fun, trendy pair of earrings and a ring to go for my night out. You can find this inspiration design at fusionbeads.com.